My brothers and sisters, liberal theology has mesmerized church people to think Yahushua is longing for more and more people to choose him. And when they do, he will give them a life of ease, comfort, and pleasure. There is no scriptural support for this thesis. Trials and tribulations follow the new birth experience. Matthew 16:24, Matthew 19:21, Luke 9:23, John 12:26, and John 16:33. In fact, concerning salvation, the King Yahushua HaMashiach described just the converse. All that the Father giveth me, Yahushua, shall come to me, and him that cometh to me, I will in no wise cast out. John 6:37. In addition, the negative counterpart, no man can come to me, Yahushua, except the Father which hath sent me draw him, and I will raise him up at the last day. John 6:44. The Apostle John penned a staggering comment in the revelation of Yahushua HaMashiach when he wrote, "The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was and is not and yet is." Revelation 17:8. The Father recorded the name of every elect soul in the Lamb's book of life and sealed the book before time was. This destroys the popular concept of a divine scribe with a pen and a bottle of whiteout modifying the contents of the Lamb's book of life, as congregants experience pressing traumatic incidents that trigger insincere professions of faith. There is a tension here the righteous must learn to deal with. There will be souls you know and feel burdens for, very likely family members that you pray for and witness to, who will not respond. You must learn to disregard discouragement while continuing to intercede when you feel the burden and witness when Yahuah avails you the opportunity. A chaste virgin bride is the profile of the church. The concept that Yahushua does not know who constitutes the church is as ridiculous as a man planning to marry hanging out at a church, waiting for a candidate bride to just appear. Just as men court the woman they plan to marry, the King Yahushua HaMashiach is courting the elect using the power of the Ruach HaKodesh in progressive sanctification to do so. Yahushua's glory is the object of his redemptive plan, which will culminate when every knee bows before him, confessing that he is king to Elohim the Father. Philippians 2:10-11. There is nothing in scripture that remotely suggests that will happen on this side of eternity. The 21st century carnal culture has overlaid the Yahuah's agape love with the reciprocal and often sensual counterpart, disregarding the fact that wrath is part of Yahuah's agape love. Because of the fall and subsequent curse, Genesis 3, everyone ever born is separated from Yahuah, lost, and on the broad way by default. Romans 3:10-18, 23, and 6:23. Except those regenerated to new life in the King Yahushua HaMashiach, John 3:3 and Titus 3:5. By the power of the Ruach HaKodesh, American prosperity feeds the thought, I'm in good shape. I do not need to be saved from anything except possibly the IRS, political corruption, the deep state, financial collapse, or whatever else, and yonder they go. Spiritual salvation is the threshold to exempt you from hell. So there are two questions. How am I saved? And how can I be assured of my salvation? Join me tomorrow to hear part 3. Shalom.